Hey everyone. I just thought I'd do something a little different from the usual, thread simulators or video games, and I thought I'd do a bit of a painting tutorial. And today, I'm going to be painting this little Slaves to Darkness Chaos Warrior, and we are going to be painting him in the style of a Corn Warrior. So, the first thing we do is we get some corn red on him as such. And I find it helps to paint the shield first, the largest area on the mini to paint red. And hey, it looks pretty good. Now, I know I don't have the best camera quality, but we're just going to have to make do. And next we are going to paint the rest of his body. So like the legs, the arms, and his helmet. And here is that. Looking like he's ready to go pillage and raid already. Alright, let's keep going. Now the next step I like to use is using some of this contrast Black Templar. I love this paint. It is I use it almost more than the regular black when it comes to painting things. And so we're going to start with his boots. And then we are going to work on his horns. I mess up a few spots here and there, but overall I think I did a pretty good job painting black on him, especially with this contrast paint. And of course I drop him. I do that quite a lot. I don't use the fancy miniature holders. Now you can see on camera there's a bit of white in his helmet, and I try to just put a little bit of dot of black in there, but it doesn't really matter since we're going to go over with a nun oil wash later on. And next we are going to use Ushanti Bone to paint the cape, the skulls dangling from the back of his cape, and the little horn on his shoulder. Not really much to say about painting Ushanti Bone onto a cape and a cloak, whatever you call it. But I decided to go with this instead of using more black, because I did paint another Chaos Warrior like this, with nothing but red and black, and he may have came out pretty good, but I decided to change it up, in case I ever decide to really fully commit to a Slaves to Darkness army. And here I put a little bit of black on the rope to break it up. Now next we are going to use our nun oil wash. I find it helps to have a dedicated, not good brush for doing washes, so that's what I do here. Some people like to use those big frayed brushes for dry brushing. I also like to use them for getting my washes on. I like to use a nice good sized one too to pick up any pooling that happens on the big flat areas or the bottoms of the cape, like right there. And if you can see clearly, I know, not very clearly on this camera, but I think I did good there. And of course there were some spots that I missed on the insides of the armor that I went back and picked out. And there I am trying to get the red out of my brush. Trying at least. And there is my paint water. Very red, and there's a lot of stuff that's settled to the bottom, and I need to clean that out at some point. And I think he's looking pretty alright. So far, at least. Let's keep going. And I went back after the wash was almost dried completely, and I picked out the skulls so they would be a little bit brighter against the darker cloak. And the shoulder horn, tooth spike thing. Next, I went and picked out the parts that I wanted to paint gold with Retributor gold. Now, I really love this gold. I use it on almost all my models when I can. And that is looking fantastic, even from this bad quality and distance. But don't worry, I'll have pictures at the end of the video of this miniature finished. Next, we're going to be doing the basing. So we're going to use just a standard in the box base. Actually, no, we're going to be using the lead belcher here to paint some of the metal bits, like his sword and the chainmail between his legs. Also pick out some other spots to make it look like there's some wear and tear. Very blurry, yes I know, but it's the best I can do. Now this is the part where I started to work on the base. And there it is. Very quick, easy basing done. And I think he came out pretty good. So that's how I like to do my Chaos Warriors of Khorne, Slaves to Darkness, whatever you call them. If there were some things that I could have done different when I was painting this model, is I would have probably painted this guy up in different pieces. Like, maybe not put the shield on first, maybe pin it, and then work on it. And I probably should have put a washed over the sword. I'm really happy with how the cloak came out, even though it's a little generic. And the base, I think, for a very simple base, it is serviceable, to say the least. Now, I've done some pretty elaborate bases before. If you go back through my videos, you can see my painting a green dragon, or a great greenhorn dragon. It's somewhere on the channel, you'll find it. That's probably one of my most elaborate bases I've ever done for a miniature. Anyways, this is kind of a first for me, so criticism, all that, is welcome. Of course, be nice. I'm but a humble, kind of does this once in a while kind of guy, so maybe I'll take your advice, maybe I won't. Who knows? Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And like this video, a generic YouTuber shilling. I do not have a Patreon. Yeah, just like and share. That too, all that shit. Yeah, later, bye. Have a good night, day, morning, whatever.